So you graduate from Samford, and what do you think is going to happen next? Where do you think you're going to be?
Honestly, didn't know where I was going to be, except that I knew I would be in the NFL at some point somehow, just because I had the confidence in myself. I had some people behind me, and I just always like in my heart knew that I was good enough to play here, and never knew what team. Just because when I got done, it was a little bit until the draft. I thought maybe there was a chance I got drafted. I for sure thought I would get signed right after the draft, like as a free agent, and then those two didn't happen. But thankfully I got a tryout here at the Steelers and even the Giants the week before, and Steelers told me, hey, we're going to keep you. And I think I told people, I was like, 5 years from now, if you look back, I think the story would kind of just fit like who I am and just how hard I work and just the person I am.
The success you had at Samford, one would have thought teams would look at that. How surprised were you that that sort of just went by the wayside?
I don't know. I don't know how surprised I was. It was definitely a little bit of a disappointment. And that's one of the reasons I thought, maybe there's a chance to get drafted. I for sure get signed just because of what I did at Samford. But at the same time, I couldn't have done all those things without my guys at Samford. Offensive line, my receivers, coaches, everyone. They make my job easier when we had some great skill players. And yeah, a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm here today, so it's all good.
You're here today, and a lot of America is going, who is this Duck Hodges and how did this happen? So while the country is surprised, how surprised are you?
I'm not surprised. Like I said, I always had the confidence in myself that I'd be here. I always kind of had like a little like chip on my shoulder. That's always like that's what pushed me. And yeah, I'm here. I've had a lot of help along the way, and but not really surprised at all. I'm glad to be here, excited to be here.
I think the Steelers are excited that you're here because you're doing things well. How would you characterize how it's been for you to adapt to the offense and run it?
Um, you know, it's obviously a lot different because when I was in college, we were throwing the ball 60 times a game. But one thing that my agent, he always told me, he said, hey, if you can throw a football, you can throw a football no matter what level, no matter FCS, Division One, FBS, or NFL. If you're a gunslinger, you're a gunslinger. So coming here, it took me a little bit to adapt to the speed a little bit. But coaches have done a great job coaching us. And it goes back to having the guys on the team. When you got some stud wideouts and running backs, and you got one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. It makes a quarterback's job easier, especially when you can run the ball and block and give me protection and everything. It's just been great. And then I even can't forget defense. When you got defense like our defense, it really, I honestly think that's one of the reasons that I've progressed so much since I've been here. Is like before I was on the scout team going against those guys. So that was just each and every day. That was helping me get better. So it's been fun.
One of the reasons you're in this situation is because of injuries. You got your first start because Mason was injured, Mason Rudolph, and of course Ben. You've had injuries on this team that you've had to overcome. Juju, James Conner, and when you're the quarterback who's in this position because of injuries, how have you guys overcome that?
A lot of it has been like, with all these injuries, we're playing guys that were doing a scout team with me. So, we've kind of always had a connection. Even fall camp with Ben. Ben would always take like that third day off in fall camp, and like he wouldn't even practice. So, I've had reps with these guys. We've been able to overcome it just because of the simple fact that we got some great leaders on the team. Even those guys have been hurt, they've been leading. And Coach Tallman always says, hey, when you're wearing a helmet, when you're part of that 53, we think you can get the job done. So it's all about just having fun, having a good game plan each week, and then just going out there and executing it.
You're a kid from Alabama being coached by Mike Tomlin, who's indescribable, really. How has that worked for you?
I've enjoyed it. Coach Tomlin's done a great job. He's been one of the best leaders we've had with all these injuries. He's done a great job. We've been winning some games, but not. he's not letting us get our heads. Our heads aren't getting too big. He's doing a really good job of making sure that we're focused each and every day, working on skills that are relative to our position, as what he likes to say. So, I mean, he's a football coach, and no matter where you're from, I mean, football coaches know how to connect with their players, and he's done a great job at it.
And you've done a job now creating things with James Washington. He's turned into one of your favorite targets. How has that chemistry evolved?
I mean, it's just giving him the ball, throwing him the ball, and him making plays. The chemistry. I mean, we've had some work during during training camp and on the scout team. So, I mean, there's been some connections there. But I mean, when you go out there and play in a game, I mean, when I think in the Bengals game when I threw him that first, I think it was the third play I was in, threw him that deep post, and he made a great catch, stiff arm, touchdown, and then I mean, it's just kind of taken off from there. It's not anything like specific we've done. It's just kind of happened. So it's been fun.
You've taken him hunting?
Yes, it's funny just because of the fact like we had always like he grew up hunting. Like he's been hunting way before I took him hunting. He's been duck hunting before I took him duck hunting, and we'd always talked about, hey, let's go duck hunting. And it just kind of like when duck season in Pennsylvania came in, it just like the way the timing of it all, kind of this all comes together. But I mean, we'd planned on that for a while, and it's just the timing is just crazy how things work.
How's his shot?
Oh, he's a great shot. I
Is
mean, he may can shoot better than me. Now, can he duck call better than me? No, but he can shoot. He's pretty spot on.
Does he duck call with you?
No, not yet. We got to teach him a little bit, but he can shoot.
You've taught America about duck calling, and you've turned it into an art. Why is it so natural for you? I mean, I've watched the videos. It just seems like you become a duck.
I mean, there is people that are like really serious about duck hunting, like a bunch of friends back home, and I mean, there's a lot of good duck callers out there. I mean, for me, it's just I've been doing it, I think, since I was like 6 or 7 years old. I won that junior world championship in 2009. I was like 13, so it's just one of those things that like once you learn how to like do it, and once you learn how to like really do it, it's kind of like riding a bike. I could put it down for like a whole year and just pick it right back up. I mean, once you get good at it, there's not a whole lot to it, but getting to that part, it might take a little bit of practice.
Why did you want to get good at it?
So me and my dad and my family, we just started like duck hunting, and I knew that like I'd heard about duck calling contests, and like I'm a very competitive guy, and I was like, well, if I'm going to duck hunt, like let's do these duck calling contests, and went to the first one ever, not really knowing like what to expect. They just said, hey, go up there and you got like 60, I think it was 60 seconds to blow your duck call, and I ended up winning my first contest, and I won like $100, and I was like 10 years old. And I was like, man, 10 years old, $100, like I feel like a millionaire. So I just started going more and winning like $100 every weekend. I was like, man, this is awesome. So that's, I think, just me being as competitive as I am. I think that's what made me start doing the contest calling.
There's another kind of bird in Pittsburgh known as the Pittsburgh Penguins, and their hockey team. My understanding is that your first love was hockey. How does that happen to an Alabama kid?
I think it was because my dad played ice hockey, or he either played ice hockey or rollerblade hockey or something. And like, so like him being my dad, I was like, oh, I want to play hockey. So hockey was the first sport I played. I think I played it like 2 or 3 years. I started when I was
Ice hockey?
Ice hockey, when I was like 5, and then I started playing football, and I was like, well, this football stuff is fun. So I chose football, and I think it was a good thing I did.
How much do you like watching hockey?
Hockey is definitely my favorite sport to watch. I think I'd rather watch hockey over football. At least in a live setting, I would. Just because, I mean, there's always action. I love when people drop the gloves and fight a little bit. Hockey's this awesome sport to watch.
Boy, if there was only a way to combine duck calling and hockey and football, you'd be all in.
I would be. I don't know what you'd call that, but I would be all in on it.
Your team, Predators?
No, the Penguins.
Okay, I heard you grew up watching the Predators.
I mean, yeah, I grew up. I mean, they're from Nashville, but my teams. I mean, it's got to be the Penguins. I'm here in Pittsburgh. I've been to 2 games. They've won both games. I've been there too. So maybe I'm their good luck charm. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm a Penguins. It got to be.
You got to be. And do you have a favorite player?
Um, I haven't established a favorite player yet for the Penguins. I need to kind of think on that one.
That's okay. You'll have time.
Yeah.
You'll have time. You guys went into the bye week looking, let's be honest, dead as a doornail. And this team somehow turned around. You're back in the thick of things. How'd that happen?
I think a lot of that credit goes to the veterans on the team and Coach Tomlin, and just saying. I mean, they've all been in this situation before, and they've just done a good job making sure that we stay focused and we take it one game at a time. And we've been playing great past couple of games, so we just got to continue.
It takes veteran leadership, and if you would describe it, how does that manifest itself? People talk about leadership, but what does it feel like? What does it look like?
To me, in my eyes, I mean, they're not pressing. To me, they're just staying calm. They're staying cool, collective. I mean, like I said, they've been in the shoes, been in this situation before, and they've just done a good job of not changing who they are, just continuing to do the little things, continuing to be focused, and continuing to play football. And to me, that's just really spoke a lot, just because I thought that they would really try to start doing different things, but they haven't. They've stayed who they are, and now we've started winning some games.
And what about Coach Tomlin? How has he overseen all of this?
Yeah, I mean, just like the veteran players, I mean, he's stayed exactly how he is. I mean, he hasn't changed anything up. He's made sure that we're focused every day. He's made sure that we do whatever it takes to win the game, and he's just done a great job. He's done a great job speaking to us, giving us the right pep talk the night before a game, and it's just cool to see, especially being my first year. It's just cool to see how older guys and how the NFL kind of operates.
Mike Tomlin has some great sayings. He's one of the best speakers you're going to listen to. Do you have a favorite Tomlinism?
I would say my favorite thing he says is you need to develop skills relative to your position. I think he says it every day. It's like the first thing he says after he says good morning in the team meeting is, hey, let's develop skills relative to your position. That's something that he said ever since the rookie minicamp tryout, all through the summer camp, and up until this date.
Week 1 of the NFL season, you're unemployed. Now look at you. Have you had an opportunity to really assess what's going on in your life?
I mean, I really haven't, just because after one win, I start thinking about getting the next one. I mean, I've definitely caught myself in every game. I specifically remember at some moment in the game, just looking around at the crowd and being like I'm really playing the NFL. It's been a dream of mine. I've never had a specific team. It's just always been, hey, I want to play in the NFL. I've dreamed about playing in the NFL, and I mean, to play for such a historic franchise like the Steelers, I mean, gosh, it's a blessing, and it's a lot of fun.
Last one. You sent out a tweet once with a duck. Below water, paddling like crazy. Above water, serene, calm. Is that kind of how you operate?
Yeah, and I think it just kind of speaks of behind closed doors. I work really hard. I always work hard. That's kind of the paddling like crazy. But when it's game day and time to go, I try to stay calm and cool and go out there, have fun, and play football.
Just like a duck.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.